another day in my room, in my house. You are my
All
guest
right.
for the second time.
All right. All right. Uh, I'm really very happy to meet you again, Sumaya. Uh, I do apologize for not telling you Mrs.
No,
because
I'm
you
your
are my
daughter.
daughter, and
Voila.
because you are my daughter, there are no formalities whatsoever. So, hi, Sumaya again. I
Hi.
have really enjoyed the last session. There are many students I would like to thank because they have shared nice messages with me,
Tamam.
thanking me for the nice work. And I shared some of the messages with you.
Yes.
And you know, yes, we are old, we are 58 or so, but still, every person in life is happy when people praise him, when people thank him. We need this. We
Thank
need
you.
this. Uh, and as I just expressed my feelings last session, I told you that doing a voluntary work really worth a fortune because when you go to bed the same night, you say, oh, but I have done something nice, but I am helping people to just succeed. And so you are smiling while you are sleeping. And so when I got up the following day, I felt very fresh, very happy, excited, and this is it. So thank you, Sumaya, for
Thank you.
letting me get joined with the dear students all over the country and maybe outside the country. For all these people, we say hello, Ramadankum Mabruk, and good luck to you. So, this is it.
Hello, 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 everybody. Another time, I'm very, very, very happy to be with my teacher, my father, and
Thank you.
uh, I don't find word in order to describe you. There are many of my colleague, dear teacher, who uh, who who told me last time to tell you we love you too much. I will
Thank
tell
you. Thank you.
Fatma, Fatin, Enis, and
Thank you.
many of your students.
Thank you. Thank you.
They were my
I
colleagues.
I share the same feelings. I share the same feelings and more.
And they
And
were very happy to see you online with us.
all right, all right. Yes,
Uh,
me too.
I I think, Mr. Meher, that everyone all over here, Tunisia or abroad, we are waiting for our story, for our in inverted commas, say عبد العزيز العروي in a version in English version.
Yeah, as I told you, I mean, storytelling is a very nice technique, and that when we just listen to a story, we are willing to listen again, and this is the secret because when you are listening again, you are learning, uh, and Abdelaziz Al-Arwi will be there with us all our life because he has really told us very nice stories that we will never forget. So, I'm going just to talk about the outline of the session so that the students know what I'm going to do. Today, we are going to tackle Unit 2, which is about education. And then uh, this, I mean, speaking activity will last for about 30 minutes as it was last time. And then we are going to focus on this exercise I have really asked the students to embark on, which is about gap filling. Now, after that, I'm going to focus on verb form because whenever the students are going to answer the famous question, use the correct tense and or form of the verbs, they don't really make the difference between what a verb tense is and what a verb form is. So last time we focused on present tenses. Today we focus on verb form, and next time we focus on past tenses. And so after that, in the last session, we are going to work on all these things all together. Next, I'm going to focus on a few nouns, how to construct nouns. And I will just provide the learners with a very nice tip on how to keep these nouns in mind so that when they are face to face with these nouns, they are happy to see them. All right. After that, as I promised, and I think that you never forget, Sumaya, I will sing to the learners irregular verbs.
Irregular verbs, yes.
Yeah. In the next part, I will focus on a guided writing sample and on a free writing sample. I will ask the learners to write and that they send you their contributions, and I am ready to correct as many papers as they send. I will work day and night to please my dear students. But this depends on their willingness to write, all right? And in the last part, for about 10 minutes, I will keep room for questions, because last time there was a dear student who asked me about the use of wood, and I told her that it was not my just focus that day. But then when we finished with the presentation, I blamed myself and I said, Meher, you should have really been more flexible. And this is life. I mean, we are people who make mistakes, but after that we have to reflect on our practices and correct what can be corrected. All right. So this is the plan. I hope that I will finish with everything. By the way, we will be for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, if you don't mind. So that I leave the 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes, to their questions, to the learners' questions. A last thing, when I finish with a part of the lesson, I stop and I ask you just to talk to the learners, maybe to tell them some nice news, to encourage them, because I know that you are really wonderful in the domain of coaching.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So, you give me the green light to start the first activity. By the way, today I have changed the tie. This is another new tie. I still have 2 more ties for the next 2 sessions. So all in all, they will be 4 ties in 4 sessions.
صح monsieur. ثم شكون معانا اليوم قال لك هابي بيرث داي. شكرا ما نسيبش من المرفيدة.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to start my 58th year. All right. I hope, inshallah, we are healthy.
We am بالعربية. Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. I hope that we are healthy. I mean, this is all I need to be healthy. You know, when my dad and mom were here on earth, I have done my best to please them as much as I could. Sometimes more than I could, and I never regretted it. On the contrary, I am happy with it. And now what I need is just to be healthy. No more. Believe me, no more. To be healthy. All right?
Inshallah, monsieur.
Inshallah. Shall we start?
Yes, of course.
All right. So today I'm going to focus again on just Unit 2, Education, and I'm going to tell you a short story, which is, by the way, a real story. And in this story, I'm going to focus on the most important key vocabulary words you should know about education. Okay, I was born in 1963, and on October the 1st, 1969, it was my first day at school. At that time, we used to study French and Arabic. So 2 hours of French and 2 hours of Arabic. Now we studied from 8 to 10 and then from 1 to 3. Other students used to study from 10 to 12 and from 3 to 5. So from 12 to 1, I think it was time for teachers to have lunch or something. Now, you should know that I am the oldest among 5 children, and leaving my brothers and sisters at home playing and enjoying themselves while going to school was not an easy experience. My aunt Wasila, who used to live with us, uh, was in charge of taking me to school. I was crying and grabbing her veil safsari, and she was from time to time encouraging me. But if I kept crying, she was shouting at me, asking me to hurry up. And so when we arrived, someone welcomed us. All right, he was just the guardian. He asked my aunt to go away, telling me that I have to depend on myself. All right. Now we entered the primary school. There was a headmaster, Allah yarhamu. His name is Mr. Tahir Dirbel. He was wearing a jibba, I still remember that, and a fez. A fez means caboose. And near him there were a few dear teachers. But the catastrophe is the following. They were beating some of the students. How can this happen? We beat students before entering the classrooms, before making any mistake? I was really afraid. And then they started calling names. Example, Kamel Kharrat. 10 beats. Tough, 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 tough. Are they 10? No, 8. Tough and tough. These are the 10. They were beating the students. But when I asked someone, why, what was happening? He said that this is a credit. I mean, last year, before they left school, they made mistakes, but they were not beaten. So, before they start the new year, they must really pay their debt, between inverted commas. All right, so I was afraid, maybe terrified. When I entered the classroom, the teacher welcomed us, and then he said, okay, if you make this mistake, you have got 4 beats. If you make that mistake, so they are 8. Until we have what we call 20 beats. It was a moment I would never forget. And so, as soon as I left school, I was unwilling to go back. I just had in mind that I would never go back again. And so I was playing with my brothers and sisters, and at 12 sharp, my aunt Wasila again called me to have lunch and to join school after that. I just had lunch and then went into the WC and locked the door. Yes, I locked the door. After some time, my aunt asked me to go to school, so I refused. And believe me, I didn't go. I was waiting for my father, Allah yarhamu, who was a very friendly and a gentleman, to protect me. And so I stayed there until my father was back. After that, I forgot about everything. Now, this is the only souvenir I had. I still remember also that in the sixth form, what we call sixième année, we were asked to sit for a national exam. It is a 2-day exam. Where we, at that time, we used to be tested on Arabic, French, spelling, orthographe in French, maths, what we call calcul, and another topic I forgot really. Maybe biology, but I'm not sure of. All right. And so we used to just go from, we didn't used to sit for the exam in the primary school. We had to go to a school, secondary school. At that time, the secondary school was a mixture of a prep school and secondary school altogether. It was Al-Hayy Zaytouni at that time, 15 November, right now. And it was really hard. My father didn't help me. On the contrary, he asked me to go by bus, and it was really an adventure for a son who never, went alone before. And so he gave me his watch. Now, this is something I still remember. He gave me his watch and said, Meher, this is a watch you should keep to know how to manage your time. I was looking at the watch and admiring it all over the way to the secondary school. Now we sat for the exams, and by the way, I still remember some of the very nice friends. There was a very nice friend, and I still respect so much, Mr. Shadley Welly, who is now a judge. He was sitting behind me, and I was sitting just in front of him. This is maybe the only person I still remember. And we started the exams. We did our best. Now, we were about 66 students coming from the primary school, from the same primary school. We were maybe in 2 rooms, 3 rooms, I have no idea about. And then after just a week or maybe 2 weeks, we were expecting the results. We were all afraid, because at that time, education was purely selective. You work, you do your best, but you are not sure if you are going to succeed or not. Tests were very tough. When I say tough, hard. So after maybe a week or maybe 10 days, I don't know, we were asked to go to school, to join school. At that time, there was no SMS. There was nothing. You have just to go there and listen to the headmaster. At that time, he was Sir Habib Bilaswat. Allah yarhamu. I still remember the man. A very, nice gentleman with a very nice charisma, and he was doing a great job, and he was doing a lot of voluntary work. I still remember that he was teaching us every day from 7 to 8 by the end of the year. to help us, do better in exams. Allah yarham. So I was waiting, and to my good luck, I passed the exam. But we were only at that time 11 who could pass the exam over 66. Shirley was also lucky. He also passed the exam. But there were some students who used to repeat the year, and they couldn't really pass the exam. It was really a terrible moment to see them, crying. But we were happy to be lucky, although the system was purely based on selection. And to be there at school for 6 years non-stop was in itself an adventure, because usually we repeat more than once. But we were lucky. We were lucky. Alhamdulillah. Now, the system, or the educational system, was based on 6, 3, 6, 3, 4. 6, it means 6 years in the primary school, where we studied the basic aspects, and then 3 years in the secondary school. It is a common branch. After that, some of us moved to arts, lettres, others moved to maths sciences, and others moved to bac technique. I was really happy to study 3 years, and then to move to the arts branch, a branch that I liked so much. All right. Now, after that, I studied there for 7 years non-stop, and again comes a time when we had to sit for the baccalaureate exam. But already I felt that I was really, mature enough and competent enough to sit for the exam and to pass. And this happened, alhamdulillah, in 1982. Now, after that, we moved to university. I have chosen English, although I had the possibility to choose among other subjects, as I was able to. All right. My teacher of history, Sirida Triki, and by the way, I have to say hello to Sirida, a man whom I respect so much, advised me to choose English, saying that I am brilliant. So I really listened to his piece of advice. And alhamdulillah, I am here with you now, teaching English. Now, at university, again, it was a system based on selection. And I still remember that at 9 Avril, university, we were 6 groups the first year. So 6 times 30 students. So all in all, 180 students. But by the end, after 4 years non-stop, we were just about 12 who could really pass. 12 over 180. But of course, the others could really catch up the coming years. This was possible. I'm talking about those who were able to, pass all the exams, and in 4 years they have proven to be future teachers of English or Arabic or geography or history, French, etc. All right. Now, at that time, most people were illiterate. If we focus on the primary school level, maybe let's say 20% used to leave school after studying 3 years. 3 years, yes. Because if you repeat the year 3 times, you are automatically asked to leave. So, I mean, the school was selective, and pupils were not lucky enough like now, because with the new system, many students are lucky to pass exams and to join university. It was not the case. It was not the case even for secondary education at that time. All right. Uh, of course, online learning at that time never existed. Now it is. I mean, I can see, and this is a good example today, that we can just communicate, interact online. We can just listen to a teacher, take notes, learn, and even interact through chat box. So at that time, there was no online learning at all. There were no telephones, no wireless telephones. There were no telephones because even telephones were for the prestigious families who could afford. Okay, now online learning, as it is today, could be really useful for many people who had the talents but could not really continue their studies, because some of my friends were good. They were good at Arabic, at French, at maths, but sometimes they were obliged to leave school because most parents were illiterate. They never cared about learning. And the second thing, they were pushing their children to leave school and start working so that they could help with family expenses, knowing that most families used to be having 7, 8, 9 children. All right. So I do appreciate online learning now, because this is a good example today that I'm talking maybe to 1,000, 2,000, I don't know. And this is really nice because you are there, you are sitting at home. I am also sitting at home. Yes, I have to wear, a formal, cloth, but at the same time, I feel relaxed because I am staying at home. I feel at ease, and you are learning, and this is important. Uh, now, after that, when I got my certificate, I went to teach in Sidi Bouzid, in Manzil Bouzayen. And by the way, I tell everybody there hello because I love them and they love me. And we are still, keeping in touch. Some of my students are 50 and 51. So I started just at an early age, at a young age. So when I was in Manzil Bouzayen, I felt that I was really shy, timid to look at the students face to face. I was teaching the second form, deuxième année lettres, at that time, and there were about 40 students, and so it was really a great moment to just talk to 40 students all together face to face. We were never prepared to, so I did my best, okay? But I could not really know to what extent it was beneficial, the first session or not. Now, it was traditional learning. Traditional learning, we had a board, and the chalk, and just an eraser. and a book, and we used to work. Sometimes, sometimes we were a little bit creative by bringing some pictures, some photos, uh, but it stopped there. It stopped there because there were no interactive boards, there were no video projectors, there were no I mean what else handouts like you are just using now. Just we were focusing on traditional learning, and of course traditional learning has got benefits because first of all it helps us to socialize, to know people, because when the student goes to school and meets people from everywhere, he also meets teachers from everywhere, he will learn and they will learn from him. This is number one. So socializing is really nice. And another thing is that there is this face-to-face interaction with the teacher. So for very experienced teachers, uh, when they, look at the learners, they know whether they have grasped the idea or not. And this was a very nice thing. Of course, also traditional learning helps us to get rid of daily routines because you go to school, you have to dress up, you have to take the bus. Uh, Sometimes you miss the bus, you have to catch a taxi, etc. All these things are really nice because you get rid of daily routines. Now, I was there for 10 years non-stop. So I started in 1986, September 1986, and I left Manzil Bouzayan in June 1996. Yes, they were nice 10 years, one of the nicest in my life. Because when I left Manzil Bouzayan, the teachers of English there are my students. I will not use were. They are still my students. I still remember Mr. Benjuddu, Allah yarhamu. I still remember Mr. Smairi and others. So a big hug to them. A big hug to them. All right. Now, when I was in Sfax again, I was really lucky to be working near my family and to meet a new category of teachers. They were mostly old teachers. I used to be with young teachers in Manzil Bouzayan, and now in Neuf Avril, these are old teachers, very experienced teachers. By the way, I hope, inshallah, that they enjoy. They enjoy. Good health. I still remember many of them, so I will tell them all hello. Many of them are still, true friends. True friends. Yes. Now, when we were in Manzil Bouzayan, maybe in the staff room, the discussion was based on when are you going to get married? Have you been able to just get acquainted with the right person? Now, when I moved to Neuf Avril, the question was, when are you going to get retired? How many months are you still, teaching? So it was another jargon, and I got a little bit sad to hear this because they are two different words. But I enjoyed sometimes the nicer jokes the old teachers were just saying. All right. During the break, the lunchtime, because my house is far away from school, I used to stay with my aunt Wasila again. Okay, she is a star to you now. Aunt Wasila bought a house in the town center, what we call in Arabic البلاد العربي. It is a very modest house, and it is just about 500 meters far from school. So I used to, go there, have lunch with her on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. All right. I don't work on Wednesday, and on Friday and Saturday I work just until 12. So I used to go and visit her on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Thursday. But there is a very nice souvenir there. My aunt Wasila was learning. Yes, she was illiterate. And then we opted for adult learning. We ask, old people to go to school and to study. The purpose for my aunt is not to study. The purpose is that she goes on trips with the group, because in order to motivate, old people to study, they just provide them with some bonuses. As for example, they go on trips. They give them just some presents, right? This is her real purpose. So she was never interested in learning. And so when I used to visit her, she told me, please, Meher, do my homework for me. I used to do her homework for her. And her teacher, Nama, at that time, used to tell my, or to write on the copybook, حسن جدا 10 على 10 10 over 10. My aunt Wasila was not aware of what was happening. I was doing the job for her, and I don't know, maybe even Nama at that time knew what was happening. All right. So here the question of, teaching adults, to what extent it was fruitful, to what extent there was a strategy, a good strategy, is still debatable. But I could say that teaching adults is really something nice, because it helps them to be literate. Being illiterate is a terrible moment. You can never imagine how terrible it is to those who don't know. And so being literate is one of the gifts we really enjoy. All right. Now, my aunt Wasila used to tell me that, the students who were with her were either, old women, or maybe young women who were at that time, let's say 40. She was about 65 or 70 at that time. And by the way, she is still alive. رب إن شاء الله يعطيها الصحة. So, they were of different ages. And yes, here we have another problem. When we are going to come up with a class, should the students be of the same age? It means almost having the same expectations, the same hobbies in mind, the same dreams, or shall it be a mixed group of both, young and old people? I cannot decide, because some of the experiences have proven to be successful. Other experiences have never been. Yes, I am automatically in favor of education for all, that it is a continuous process, that we never stop reading or learning the moment we leave university or school, that to the last minute we are really progressing. And this is what I am doing right now. I'm just connected to some online courses, doing my best, preparing my homework, getting into trouble with some of the difficult things, solving problems, etc. This is important. Uh, Once we were just asking the learners to answer a reading comprehension question in which a 91-year-old Japanese man was really working hard to get his PhD. We were shocked. We were shocked. And it was another lesson, although we never met the man. So I think that, I mean, lifelong learning is something we have to work on. We have to, I mean, let's say, encourage everybody to be interested in, because an educated society, not educated, because educated, this is a person, but an educated society, مجتمع معرفة, an educated society is just a very sound society. There is nothing better than education. There is nothing better than getting educated, okay? Because it is the real weapon we can really use all the time, and it is never ending. It is with us. So keep on learning, keep on working hard. Yes, I know that you are now pragmatic enough to, go to pass your exam and have your baccalaureate certificate, and this is your right. And this is our right also, because we need you to succeed. But please, never stop learning when you get a job. Never stop learning. Learning should be a continuous process. Learning should be a habit. And when you are a father or a mother, never tell your children or your sons and daughters, keep on learning. You should be the good example to them. You should be the good example. And in 2005, I was conducting, a training, and I was a little bit, stressed, saying, what if I failed? How would my image be in front of my 3 children? It was really a hard thing. It was a pressure put on me. This is to show you that as adults, we have to be a good example for those who are younger than us, so that they can really, proceed with learning. All right. Now, I think that this is all I can say. I have tried to, focus on all the themes you have studied, and I have inserted many of the words you are using, but I cannot really insert all of them, otherwise my speech will be artificial, and I will never focus. I will never really, opt for this strategy. So thank you. Now it's time for Sumaya. Hey, Sumaya. Sumaya. Hey, little girl. Sumaya. All right. So I think that we have to move now. We have to move now to the activity I asked you to embark on last time. So please, I don't know. Sumaya, I'm just calling her. I'm just calling her to see if she's here with us. All right. Hi, Sumaya.
Hi, sir.
Hi, little girl. So
Hi.
I have finished up with the story.
Like usual.
Yes, and
Amazing.
these are very nice moments, because I have remembered some old friends, some old classmates, some old teachers, dear teachers,
And my sister will be
some
cool too.
some nice souvenirs.
Yes.
you know the teachers who taught you and we were together in 9 Avril. Certainly, you still remember some of them. They are really in mind and heart. Huh?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
لا مسيو عايشني رجعتني لك العوامل تاع مفابريل الكل كو سوا معك انت ولا مع برشا بوكو دو مي انسينيون جو سالو الكل يعني رجعتنا لبرشا سنين التالي على محل مسيو انت بالإديوكيشن المرة هذيا رجعتنا ملي احنا children at the age of 6.
Yes.
فما كان النيرسري ما رجعتناش ليها باش نرجعوا للنيرسري والكتاب شويه قبلها.
At that time there was no nursery school. والله العظيم there was no nursery school. I mean from the start we are in the primary school and we used to study French and English and French and Arabic. So my generation proved to be good at French and good at Arabic, all right?
good at English too.
Yeah, no, for sure, but this came later on. But
yes,
the majority used to study French and English, and in Arabic, all right? So, this is the first part.
دونك مسيو رجعتنا لك على الاول كيفاش احنا نبداو في البرايمري سكول كيفاش نتخيل ان كل واحد فيهم راهو ذكر شكون اللي هزوا للسكول مره his dad ولا his dad sorry ولا his mom ولا دونك رجعتنا بوكو دو سوفونير يعني البرايمري سكندري وبعد لليونيفرسيتي يعني تفتحها مسيو فريمون كالعاده فما بوكو دو نتخيل كيما وليداتنا توا الكوليكيه اللي حاضرين معانا دونك راكم عملتوا الرحله هذيك من البرايمري حتى وصل بينا للاي ليرنينغ برشا حاجات انتم قريتوهم في اليونت 2 في الاديوكيشن
also adult learning and a big hug to my aunt Wasila who although she was illiterate but she has learned 2 or 3 words and this is for me this is really a great thing, a great adventure because you know learning at an early age or at a late age, I mean when you are 65 or 66 is not that easy, I mean but when we are young we can learn faster and better and this is for sure. Yes. However, we should never abstain. We have to all the time learn. We keep on learning. And when I was maybe 25 and 26 and I used to go to Abu Jafar in Sousse in summer, I used to see many old people reading books on the beach. And so I said, so what for? But now they are old and they have to relax. But it was wrong. It was not really something nice. On the contrary, we have to work. We have to study hard and learn all our life, from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end. All right.
Yes, of course. الأولاد نتخيل هالطريقة اللي محلاها تاع مسيو اللي هو قاعد يحكينا في حكاية ويحط لنا هكا في كلمات انتم تستحقوهم برشا كي سون تري 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 ريش يعني مسيو عمل سامري لليونت 2 اللي هي education وحط ميني فوكابولري وسط الحكاية اللي هو حكاها دونك حتى بعد انتم كي باش تعاودوا تسمعوا الفيديو ركزوا في الكلمات اللي قالهم مسيو راهم من بعد هذوكم باش تلقاهم very 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 useful يا اما في هذيك الفيلين ذا بلانكس كي جينا في الاكزامان والا مسيو زاد في الرايتنجز نتاعهم ولا نلقاو شي كلمه في التكست في الريدينغ نتاعنا كيف دونك راهو مسيو كفى وفى عمل لنا هيك الريزومي كي العاده اللي محليه مسيو هذيك اللي فيه المفيد والمهم.
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Sumaya. I advise the dear students to listen to the 4 stories, because every time we have a short story which is about 30 to 35 minutes, I advise them to listen to these stories once, twice, and 3 times. And there, without their being conscious of it, they are going to, remember the key vocabulary words. And you are really right, because what we are doing will help them in writing good essays. And I will focus today on how to write a good essay, the mistake we are just doing as students, and the remedy. And you will see that storytelling will help us so much.
Okay. لولاد, the first part is clear. نستناو الكومنتس نتاعكم. N'oubliez pas que demain عندنا la séance نتاع الفرنسي. دونك باش نبداو اول séance نتاع الفرنسي غدوه الساعتين نتاع العشيه كالعاده. Ne zappez pas la révision, راهو اللي قاعدين نعملوا فيه il est très 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 important باش تكونوا حاضرين وقت جويليا وقت الريزولتا باش نسمعوكم الكوليكيه ناجحين. سي بون يعني
ان شاء الله يا ربي، ان شاء الله ان شاء الله ان شاء الله.
الريفيزيون راهم يسون لي ريفيزيون elles sont très riches. شفتوا امس كيفاش عملنا في العربيه. دونك من التلخيص من بعد للفقره اللي خدمتوها عطاتكم كيف مدام نجوى خدمه. اليوم مع مسيو سيلا كيف باش نكملوا اليونت 2. غدوه مع مدام نجوى باش نبداو في الفرنسي. ونهار الخميس الموعد نتاعنا مع سي معز كالعاده ولا لا تقطع لنا عاده باش يورينا كيفاش نحفظوا فيسا يعني. دونك مسيو معز اللي هو الاختصاص نتاعو الذاكره الخارقه غدوه بعد غدوه بلوتو باش يعطينا كيفاش نجموا ديزاستوس كيفاش نجموا نحفظوا فاسيلمون فيسا باش هكا بذكي من غير ما نضيعوا الوقت نتاعنا. كيما مسيو توا اللي هو مسيو سيل اللي هو برافي وستيفي وميداد واللي تحبوا عليهم انتم الكل اللي انا ام براود اللي اليوم انا معاه. كيما اللي توا عمل لنا هيك الخرافه اللي محلاها الروايه نتاع القدم اللي هو باش حكى لنا الحكايه وحط لنا فيها هذيك البارتي الدسمه نتاع الفوكابلوري الكل اللي كاين اللي باش تحقوهم انتوما في اليونت 2. دونك la façon هذه. donc suivez-nous. وهذه راهو سي توجور سي SAX فاكس المدرسه العليا للدراسات الاداريه والتجاريه بصفاقس اللي هي حبت بطريقتها هي انها تكون وتقف مع الوليدات نتاع الباك في الجمهوريه التونسيه الكل. دونك وانا ديما نحكي على مسيو خاطر مسيو هو ديما كو سوا قراني يعني كان هو صاحب فضل كبير عليه خاطر هو قراني. وزاد هو ماي كوليك في SAX فاكس ويقري معايا. دونك هذايا سي حاجه ديما كي نبدا السيونس مع مسيو سيل نبدا هكا عندي شويه حيله مسيو على خاطر انت قريتني وبلوس انت معايا ديما.
يعيشك. ثانك يو.
Thank you. Donc, كيفما تراونا هكاك راهو احنا في SAX فاكس نو سوم كوم سا نو سوم ترو سبونتاني. حتى مع مسيو كي نتلاقاو في الاداره ولا مع ستودنتس نتاعنا راهو ديما هكاك ديما نو سوم سبونتاني. نشجعوا اون انكوراج مسيو كيف يفهم حتى هو يقري في البزنس انجلش مي بنفس الطريقه هذه اللي هي فاني اللي هي تشد الستودنت اللي هي تخليه يكون ملم اكثر بالانجلش دي فاسون جينيرال. دونك مسيو يعطيك صحه توا 4 على 5 سنين وانت معانا ديجا برشا من البروموسيون الاخرين قاعدين يتبعوا فينا. نذكر وائل بن عمر سامي بخدير قال لك مسيو راك انت من اعز الاساتذه اللي لقيت عندهم. دونك راهي فريمون سي ان بليزير دو فو فوار معنا كيف لاصه طرابلسي معنا برشا من لي ستوديون نتاعنا اللي قريتهم انت في SAX فاكس وتوا تبارك الله شقوا ثنيتهم وشدوا ثنيتهم واللي يخدم واللي البرا وتبارك الله عليهم. سامي كان كنت تتفرج علينا حاسيلو رد بالك على روحك و هاي from Tunisia.
Yes. Thank you. What you are saying really touches me so much because you are with people, then everybody, chooses his path or his way, but they are all the time in mind and heart. And there comes a time when you feel that you miss them so much. And so you are happy to hear about their news.
Yes.
So good luck to them that they can achieve their dreams and that they can really help their families and help Tunisia, because we need every person who has got the talents to help our nice country progress. And we can, and we can, and we can. Because thanks to young people, thanks to their endless efforts, we can. And I'm sure we can. And tomorrow must be better than today, for sure, for sure.
Yes, of course.
So we need you. We are now helping you, but we need you. We need you in the future years to help our nice country progress more and more. And then when it is time to retire, we are really, certain 100% that those who are going to take the lead can do a better job. Now, I'd like to focus on two things, Sumaya. The first one is that when we are doing this nice job, we would like to please the students, but also their parents. I am a father, and I know how stressed I am when my kids are sitting for exams. Yes, I am in the domain, but it's different being a teacher and being a father. You understand? Now, if you are a father, you get a really bit stressed, perplexed. Although you know that your child can do it, but still, the emotional side, influences us a lot. The second thing is what Si Muaz Tariqi has been doing. Now, when I was young, I used to, adopt many strategies to memorize the lessons, to keep them in mind. Sometimes I apply strategy and it doesn't work, or it didn't work. Do you see? So I have to opt for another strategy. But now, these students are lucky because we provide them with the strategies ready-made so that they won't waste time. And this is really something valuable in life, that you save time and you go straightforward, to the task, to the approach, to the goal, and this is really nice. So thank you once more, Sumaya. I'd like also to thank Si Muaz so much, and to thank all the dear colleagues who are really helping these nice children to pass and be among the best. All right? Yes. Now, Sumaya?
Yes.
Sumaya?
Naam.
Hey. Sumaya?
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes, of course.
So now we are going to focus on the activity, the first activity. Do the students have a look at the Word document or not?
Like last time?
No. Today with Sinabil, I have really posted a document. Is it really now on the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Now everybody can really see.
Yes, of course.
So let's start. Now this was an activity I asked you to focus on, and that we are going to do today. So look. As the largest humanitarian provider of school meals worldwide, the World Food Program, برنامج الغذاء العالمي WFP, supports education and reduces malnutrition. So supports, this is verb 1, supports education, reduces malnutrition. This is a parallel structure using the word and. All right, using the word and. Nearly all countries around the world benefit. Now, benefit is a verb. There are some verbs that need automatically a preposition. So I suppose that everybody knows that benefit is followed with yeah.
مسيو تنجم
Yes.
تعمل زوم باش يزيدوا يشوفوها بالكدا.
Zoom. Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Is it nice like this?
Yes.
Yes. All right. All right. All right. So I repeat again. So I say, as the largest humanitarian provider of school meals, okay, I'll try to make it a little bit more or a little bit bigger. Now this is the end. I can never do better than that. So, as the largest humanitarian provider of school meals worldwide, the World Food Program, as I told you, برنامج الغذاء العالمي WFP, supports education and reduces malnutrition. So here there is a parallel structure, supports and reduces, using the word and. Nearly or almost all countries around the world benefit. And with the word benefit, automatically, and you know it, that we use the preposition from. Now, so the word, so all countries around the world, so the subject is all countries, never, I mean, focus on the word. All countries around the world benefit from school meals program. Here we use the word because the noun is singular, which is program. Governments recognize, you know already the verb to recognize, to know, recognize or know, school meals as an essential tool for the of children. Now here between the and of, automatically we use a noun as an essential tool for the, I mean, development of children, for the good health of children, etc. WFP also provides take-home rations. Now, when we say rations, it means des morceaux. It was used in the wars, in the Second World War. Our grandparents used to call it ration, but it is a ration, a small part. So rations for families with the children who attend the school. And here again, we come to the fact that after a noun, there must be another noun. This is one of the most difficult things. So WFP also provides take-home rations for families with the children who attend school, I don't know, school classes, school. In poor countries, school meals are often the only meal. Now, when I say the only meal here is a noun. So maybe we need an adjective because before a noun we use an adjective. Now we say school meals are often the only, let's say, nice meal, healthy meal a child receives. Yes, a daily school meal provides. Here we have two inverted commas, two commas. This is comma number one. This is comma number one. Well, this is comma number two. I advise you not to answer this word on the spot, because you have to see whether the relationship between the previous sentence and this one is a cause-effect relationship, is an addition, is a contrast. Now, if it is a cause-effect relationship, you are going to use therefore. If it is just a cause-effect relationship, you are going to use therefore. If it is a contrast, you are going to use however, or you are going to use the word though, because however and though are synonymous in this case. So if it is a cause result relationship, it is therefore. If it is a contrast, it is however or though. So we don't know. Maybe you are going to use this, or maybe you are going to use one of these. So let's read. I say, a daily school meal provides a strong incentive to send the children to school and keep them there. So because the children are really eating or would like to eat well, so in this case, I believe that the word therefore can do the affair, can be really doing the affair, because I can see that because they are really eating well, so they have the willingness to go to school. It allows children to plus a verb. It allows the children to, now here it allows, this is a subject and verb. After some time we are going to, tell you what this verb is. And then we have to plus a verb also. So it allows children to, on their studies, maybe to concentrate, maybe to focus. I don't know. Maybe concentrate, maybe focus, but I need a verb. And after just 10 minutes, I'm going to inform you about the difference between this verb and this verb. Yes, both of them are verbs, but they don't have the same, function. So we are going to name them in two different ways. Keep this example in mind. So it allows children to concentrate on their studies rather than their stomachs, and helps to increase school attendance, decrease dropout rates. Now, when we say dropout, it means these are the children who leave school, although they have got the right and the abilities to keep on studying, and improve abilities. So again, many verbs that lead us to say or to talk about parallelism, to increase, decrease, improve the cognitive abilities. Programs can be tailored to provide healthy food for target girls in areas where there is a gender gap. Gender gap, this is the gap between boys and girls, between male and female, and that if we are able to provide the girls with food at school, so they will be able to stay all day at school, and so they will never, skip classes. But we don't know. If there was not enough food in or at school, and if they were obliged to go back home, maybe their parents would not let them go back again. All right. So this is the paragraph. Now in the paragraph we have dependent on our knowledge. Here, for the sake of children, for the sake or for the benefit of, between the and of, there is a noun. Okay, I know it. Here there is another noun, because after noun there is a noun. To attend the school meeting, something like this. The only meal, we have said that meal is a noun, so before it there can be an adjective. Now what else? We have insisted on here, is it therefore or however or though? Maybe the relationship looks of a cause result rather than a contrast. We are going to see later on. Then I have focused on the difference between these two verbs. We have said that they are two verbs in the same sentence, but we are going to see the difference in a minute. Now, let's focus on the exercise. Now here we have got the adverb. There is an adverb, there is an adjective, nutritious. Now when I say nutritious, if you don't know it, but you know other adjectives that end in OUS, like dangerous, or fabulous, or famous, or hazardous, etc. Now for those who don't know, focus is a verb. Growth is a noun, so maybe we need it after the word school, I don't know. We need it maybe after a noun. And then there are two prepositions. Is it benefit from or benefit of? This is really something difficult, okay? Because those who know can really answer well. And there is also this, contrast. Are we going to use however, or are we going to use therefore? So, the test maker hasn't helped us, because we have said here that one of either therefore or however or the will be used. But I'm sorry, if it were an easier, example, we would just provide you with one and not with the other. But now you are left with two. All right, so let's say as the largest, okay, let's say something like this. We are going to just opt for something like this. We have said, first of all, that benefit is followed with from. Benefit is followed with from, benefit from. So here in this case, I will automatically discard this. It is no longer used, for sure, out. Now, next, we have said that a daily school meal provides, therefore, because it is a cause-result relationship. So I will write therefore. I will write therefore. A minute, please. I will write therefore, but I will automatically discard however, okay? Because we cannot have them both in the same exercise. So here, meal is a noun, so I will opt for the only adjective I have, and thanks God, there is only one adjective. And although I may not know the meaning of the adjective, but because it ends in OUS, so it must be an adjective, and it comes after a noun. So here, three words are there without even reading the paragraph. Just, I have also the word growth, I have the word focus and regularly, so they must be here in the three blanks. So this is a blank one, or this is where is it? This is a blank two. This is a blank two, and where is the blank number three? Yes, it's here. So three words for three blanks. So let's start. Here the of automatically it's a noun. Automatically it's a noun. For the growth of. Now it must be a noun. Here I'm just focusing on let's say adding it here. We still have now a verb or a noun, because the word focus can be both, and regularly. So in this case, where is the verb? Because we need the verb, I think. Where is it? To focus on. Especially that focus is followed with the preposition on. So to focus on, I will write here the word focus. Now, we still have this word. And I have told you that with verbs of action, attend, work, play, sing, dance. You have three possibilities. Either you have a noun like school, meal, school, I don't know, or you have an adverb like they work daily, they work minutely, etc. So I have to add ad adverb, or to plus a verb. Now, to plus a verb is impossible here because there is not a verb that follows. So out, this one is out because there is no verb. So we are left to choose between a noun and an adverb. And because I have adopted a selection, so the only word left must be the word regularly, although I say after a noun there can be a noun, or there can be an adverb, or there can be two plus a verb, but because I have used all the other words, so the only alternative I have in mind and I have in hand is to write the adverb regularly in the paragraph. And so you can see that this strategy, although it is a little bit hard at the beginning, but if we practice it from here to the end of the revision 6-7 times, and you are familiar with it, you can really answer well, and you can really benefit a lot. Of course, with the help of Sumaya, I'm going to send you some other exercises following the same strategy, and you can really answer them. And either Sumaya or I can really answer you, provide you with feedback, because you are under our responsibility. All right, thank you. Sumaya, hey. All right.
Hi, Sinar. Hi.
Hi.
Sinar.
Shall I move to the next activity?
Yes, you can.
Yes, good. So the next activity is the following. We are going today, because last time we have focused on the use of the simple present continuous, and the future tense. Now today, before I tackle the past tenses next session, I would like to really focus on something, which is the verb form. Because whenever you are going to sit for an exam, certainly we ask you the famous question, use the correct tense or form of the verbs in brackets. So when I just speak about tense and form, it means that the verb can be tense. Okay, sorry, because my keyboard is just that, silly. We forget about some of the letters. So use the correct tense or form. Now here in this case, the verb can be tense or can be form. Now what we saw last session, we say simple present tense, present continuous tense, or future tense. Why is it a tense? Because a verb tense automatically comes after a subject. So if you have a subject, it is followed with a verb tense. Now this is what we have learned. All right, subject plus verb tense, all right. So subject is followed with a verb tense. So look at this exercise. Here we are going to know which verb is tense and which verb is form, and we are going to highlight the verb tense in green with the verb form in blue. So Uh, my father went to the market to buy fruit. Here, my father is a subject. So went here is a verb tense. It comes after a subject. It is a verb tense. To buy, this is a verb form. It expresses purpose. So my father went to the market to buy fruit. So number one is a verb tense, VT. Number two is a verb form, VF. All right. Number two, I like music. Automatically, it is a verb tense because the verb tense is really an element that is necessary in the sentence. Okay? If there is not a verb form, there must be a verb tense, but the verb form is optional. I mean, we can use it or we cannot use it. I will explain it after a minute. Look at number three. My mother prefers. Now prefers, this is a verb tense coming after the verb, after the subject. Watching TV, this is a verb form, but watching TV altogether becomes a noun. Listening is also a verb form and followed with a group of words so that listening to the radio all in all becomes another noun. So there must be a verb tense. This is taken for granted. As for verb form, it can be used or not. The proof is the following. You say, I like music, but you can say, I like going, I like, sorry. I like going to the park. I like going to the park. All right. Now, this to show you that the verb form is not essential. The proof is that we have opted for a noun here. So that's why going to the park altogether is a noun. The same thing for watching TV. The same thing for listening to the radio. So the verb tense, which is in green, is an essential element in the sentence. The verb form is not, essential because you can replace it with a noun. Sentence number two is a good, example because we have used the noun after like. The noun is music. We have also used going to the park, which is a group of words, starts with a verb ing form, which is a form, but going to the park altogether is a noun. So to recap, we say the subject and the verb are two basic elements in the sentence. Okay? And sometimes a subject and the verb are enough to come up with a sentence. Okay? We live. We are here. We live. Subject, verb are enough to come up with a coherent, meaningful sentence. We are here in our nice Tunisia. We live. So a subject and the verb were enough to just convey a meaning. The verb form is not a basic element in the sentence. Sometimes if the structure allows it, we use it. Sometimes we can opt for a noun instead of, a group of words starting with ing. And I say I like music, like I say I like listening to music. I like listening to music. Now, I like listening to music. To me, I would really I'd really use. I like music because I am a person who listens to music, but who also plays music, who sings, who plays the instruments and who sings. So I like music. For me, I mean, functions better than I like going or I like listening to music. All right. But this is to show you that the verb form is not an essential element. Now, your coming question will be, hey, how do we know the verb form? This is what we are going to see right now. So have a look, please. Have a look, please. This is just a revision to what we have done in the gap filling that I have told you. Okay, we keep it later on. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So I'm just going to I mean cut it and then paste it somewhere so that I do not really trouble your mind with things. Verb form. Okay, where am I going to put this? Okay, sorry, I'm going to put this just here so that I never I mean skip it. All right, because yes, there it will be better. All right, so look please, verb form. The first rule, if we have a subject, it is followed with a verb tense, then there is a second one, which is a verb form. Remember that we have said that the verb tense, we are going to highlight it in green, or that the verb form is highlighted in blue, if you still remember. So this is the first rule. Subject plus verb tense, with the second verb is verb form. Now here we have wants. Wants is a verb tense. Enjoys is a verb tense. Lets is a verb tense. The verb forms are as follows. They are to play, playing, and use. So let's read the three sentences. My brother wants to play football. Subject, verb tense, then verb form. Purpose. The question is why. My brother enjoys playing cards. After enjoy, I use a verb ing, but playing cards altogether is a noun. My brother lets me use his laptop. You have seen that after let, there is a verb in the infinitive. Remember in the seventh form, when you have studied suggestion, you say let's play or let us play, let us go. So here you can see the three forms. So what are the three forms? The three forms are the following. We have verb tense plus verb tense plus ing, or verb tense plus to and the verb tense plus to and the verb. So this is verb tense plus ing. Then we have a minute, my dear students. Then we have verb tense plus to and the verb, plus to and the verb, plus to plus verb. All right. And the last one is verb tense plus a verb in the infinitive form. So these are the three possibilities. These are the only three forms you can ever, think of. So either it is verb tense plus ing form, or verb tense plus to plus a verb, or verb tense plus a verb without to. This is example one, verb tense plus ing. It is sentence B. All right. I can really opt for the fact that it becomes sentence A, so you are not going to get perplexed. All right. So this is number one. Then to plus a verb. and then a verb without to. Now, suppose I'm using here enjoyed and not enjoys. I'm using the simple past. Never mind whether your verb tense is in the simple present or is in the simple past. This will never change the verb form. The verb tense and the verb form do not have any rapport with one another. What we should know is that after the verb to enjoy, automatically there is a verb ing if we use the verb form. Whether the verb is in the simple present, simple past, present perfect, there is no harm. All right? Ce sont deux routes parallèles. Deux routes parallèles like the railways. سكك الحديد, they are just parallel. So whether you use enjoys, you use enjoyed, it will never make a difference. Now, next, the same thing here. Now, my brother wanted, you can say wanted, why not? Wanted to play football. Also, here, whether the verb is in the simple present or in the simple past will not make a difference. All right? The same thing for let. You know that let is an irregular verb. So whether you say let's in the present or let in the past will never make a difference because after let the verb is in the infinitive. So to recap, we can say subject followed with a verb tense, then followed with a verb form. The verb form can be either ing or to or a verb without to. All right? That the verb tense can be simple present or can be simple past will not make any difference because verb tense and verb form do not have any rapport with one another. All right. The second rule and the last rule, because there are two rules in the verb form, the second and the last rule is that you have a subject plus verb tense. But here we are going to add an element, which is an object. The object is a second noun that comes after the verb. Okay, so I will do something like this so that you can see it. All right. It's clear now. So subject plus verb tense plus object plus a verb form. Here, the only thing we have really added is that in number one, after the verb tense, there is a verb form. But in this second and last rule, we have added an object. And because we have added an object, you have got two possibilities. Either the verb form will be ing or the verb form will be ed, past tense, or if it is an irregular verb, so this is the past participle. This is the past participle. By the way, the past participle is a form, not a tense. This is the past participle of irregular verbs, like, for example, let's say go, gone, etc. So it can be ing. Now we just use ing. I mean, we are going to color it in green. We are going to color the ing in green. We color the ed and the past participle because they are the same, by the way, because every ed is a past participle. So either ed or past participle, this is a second thing. Look at sentence one to see when we are going to use ing and when we are going to use the past participle. Look at sentence one. I saw my brother. Now here, this is the subject verb as we have already agreed on. My brother, this is the object. This is the object really. My brother. So to look like the object. So I saw my brother playing, not laying. There is a missing P. Playing the piano. I saw my brother playing the piano. Why do we use here ing form? Because who plays or who played the piano, this is automatically my brother. So if the object is the one or the person who is doing the next activity, automatically it is ing form. It is ing form. So I saw my brother playing the piano. Look at number 2. I bought a shirt. Now a shirt, this is the object. Now let's have a look at the object again. Object, yes, let it be white. Okay, so I bought, this is subject verb. A shirt, this is an object, but I mean I'm not making the the shirt and has undergone the action, a subi l'action, a shirt. So here I have to use an ed or past participle of the verb. Of course, it can be ed like produced, because the sentences C and D or B and C, sorry, sentences B and C are synonymous. So you can say I bought a shirt made in Tunisia. This is the past participle of the verb to make. You can say I bought a shirt produced in Tunisia. So made is just the past participle of the verb to make. Or produced, this is the past participle of the verb to produce. But you can use produced or you can use made depending on the verb you are given in the test. But the two, I mean B and C, sorry, focus on the same thing. All right. So these are the two rules again. I repeat again, subject plus verb tense plus verb form. The second verb can be ing or to or without to. We have said that either you use the verb tense in the simple present tense or in the simple past tense will not make a difference, because there is no rapport there is no correlation between the verb tense and the verb form. Then we have used the second rule and the last rule. The second rule and the last rule, that subject plus verb tense plus an object. Now here we added the word object plus an object. Yes, this is a plus. Plus is not really yes, plus object plus a verb form. The verb form can be either ing form or ed past participle tense if it is regular verb, and if it is an irregular verb, automatically sorry, someone is calling me and I have to. Oh, mamma mia, please, not right now, please. A minute, please, a minute. So, I'm sorry, dear students. Sometimes live sessions, deal with things we are never expecting. So, where is it? Concerning the verb form, here you can use ing if the object is doing the action. Il est en train de faire l'action. I saw my brother playing the piano. Or if the object, like a shirt, has undergone the action, il a subi l'action, so automatically we use a past participle of the verb. We use a past participle of the verb, be it an irregular verb like make, made, or be it like a regular verb. Oh, by the way, I will teach you this session and next session how to keep in mind irregular verbs, because it is easy for me, and I will just pass the competence to you so that it will be also easy to you. Now we are going to look at sentences C and E and F. Now these are the These are the most difficult, let's say, sentences you can ever, come across in a test. Yes, they are difficult, but I have to teach them to you because you may come across them. You may come across them. All right? You may come across them. All right? Now, so I will buy a shirt produce in Tunisia. We have said that in this case, we are going to just focus on I will buy. Yes, I will buy is the future. It is the future tense, but you never get perplexed because produced here, the word produced that you are going to use here, all right, as an answer, has nothing to do with the past. This is a verb form. And many students really, when they find a verb in the future, they get perplexed and say, why am I going to use ed? I'll say, yes, you use ed because it's not a verb tense, it's a verb form. Here, it's like this one, automatically like C. It is automatically like C. And the verb tense, which is in the future tense, will not really mislead you because there is no rapport, as we have said at the beginning. There is no rapport between verb tense and verb form. The verb tense can be in the present, can be in the past. Never mind. It can also be in the future. I can say, my brother will enjoy. What's the harm in that? There is no harm. There is no harm in that. So, you can use simple present, simple past, future. Never mind. So, after enjoy, this is the rule that we use a verb ing if it is a form. So here, maybe I'll focus on will buy, maybe because the students find the verb in the present, in the future, which is will buy. So in this case, they may not really be courageous enough to use the ed, but this ed has no rapport with the simple past tense. It has rapport with form. Now next, the man in the nearest factory is very helpful. Now I say here the man is a subject. Where is it? The man. Yes, the man is a subject. And we have said at the beginning that the subject and the verb tense are really the two basic elements in the sentence. And so the verb tense is there. It's written. So the sentence is, the man is very helpful. So because the verb tense is here, and because there is not a relative pronoun or there is not who, so this cannot be a verb tense. Because look at the sentence. I say, he works and talks. Now here in this sentence, the two verbs are tenses because we have the word and. So it is he works and he talks. But because it is the same subject, we omit it in the second sentence. And I say, my uncle who works in a factory, gets up early. So here in this sentence, we are using two verb tense, which is works and gets up, because there are two subjects. Now, where are the two subjects? The two subjects are my uncle. Now, number one is my uncle. my uncle. My uncle gets up early. Number two, it is also my uncle, because the word who refers to my uncle. So my uncle gets up early, or my uncle works in a factory. Now these are the two sentences, but they are just two in one because we have a relative sentence. In this sentence, the article, look at sentence F. In the sentence, the article, it's not F, it's E. The man in the nearest factory is very helpful. So we have got the subject, we have got the verb, but this part doesn't have the word and. There is no relative pronoun. So automatically, I'll say automatically, the verb must be a verb form. So I will say, it's just written there, I will say the man working in the nearest factory is helpful. Here, from working up to the word factory, this is something extra. We call it a noun in a position. This is an extra element that you can omit, because we have said that the verb form is not something, necessary in the sentence. And if we don't like to omit it, just we do something like this. All right. You may say, hey, Mr. Meher, and what about who was working? This is for next time. All right, this is for next time. I'm not going to focus on that today, not to perplex you. Now look at sentence F. Sentence F looks a little bit like sentence E. So again, you have the subject, which is the article, or you have the verb, which is the verb to be. So my sentence is, the article is interesting to read. My article is all right, the article is interesting to read. Remember that here interesting is an adjective. That's why you have used to plus a verb. Remember in the seventh form, when you were young, you studied nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. So after an adjective, we have used to plus a verb in the infinitive. So I will say that the article is interesting to read. So this part, because it hasn't got who or which or and, so automatically this part is a verb form. So this part, publish in the local newspaper. And because it is a verb form, so automatically it can be ing or it can be ed or past participle. Here we have used ing because the man is doing the action. Here the article cannot publish itself, but someone publishes the article, a journalist or someone. So it has undergone the activity, il a subi l'action, so automatically it must be an ed past participle. All right, and it has no rapport with the verb. Yes, the verb is in the simple present because it is a fact, it is still interesting, but published has nothing to do with past or present because it is an ed past participle, as this is a minus noun, a subi l'action, or this is a plus noun, il a fait l'action. Okay, il a conduit l'action. Now, so I'm going to recap once for all. I'll say that subject verb form can be verb tense plus verb form. We studied all of this. All right. That the verb tense can be present or past or future, never mind. But after enjoy, for example, I use a verb ing. Now next, that there are three kinds of verb forms: ing, to, or a verb without to. That the second rule is when we have subject plus verb tense plus object plus verb form, the verb form can be ing, or it can be ed, or it can be a past participle. It can be a past participle of the verb. And of course, you can use ing form. If the person is doing the action, you can use past participle if the object has undergone the action. Now, these are three difficult sentences because the subject and the verb tense are really, separated by noun in a position, a group of words in which we have either used an ed or a past participle of the verb. All right? Hey.
سي ماهر.
So, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes,
سي
please.
ماهر. تسمع فيها؟
So, where are we? Hey.
تسمع فيها سي
Hey.
ماهر؟
All right. Good. Now I move on to the next activity. So you may ask me, hey, what are the verbs that we use with ing, the verbs we use with to plus a verb, and the verbs we use verb plus a verb? Now, I would say that I'm going to let you know about the most frequently used expressions in our Tunisian exams, but there are certainly many more. And for those who are going to study English, they certainly will know more about these things. So here, look at the first list: verb plus ing. After enjoy, like, love, admire, hate and dislike. After be, when I say be fond of, it means is or are fond of. I am fond of listening to music. She is fond of playing the guitar. After the expression is or are interested in. They are interested in playing the guitar. We were interested in running in the streets. After the expression be worth, mérite, you say this movie is worth watching. After get used to, it means to be familiar with, or is or are used to. Here to is related to the expression. That's why there is a ing form after it, because it is a noun. You say, my father gets used to staying at home. All right. My brother is used to revising hard for the exams. After also, look forward to. You say, I look forward to receiving a letter from you. I look forward to hearing from you. Or you can also say, I look forward to an answer. It means or a reply, because we have said that after these expressions, it is possible to use a noun, or it is possible to use a verb ing. So whether you say, I look forward to a reply, or I look forward to hearing from you, the two answers express the same meaning, hearing from you. So this is to show you that the word to is not related to the verb, but it is related to the expression look forward to. That's why after this expression I use a noun either it is, a verb ing, or it is a noun. Also, after prefer, after start, after go or went, because if you speak about go, you also speak about went, which is the past. After keep on, or the past kept on, because we have said that either the verb is in the present or is in the past, will not make a difference. Now, next one, this is verb plus to plus a verb. All right. You can see the list: want, decide, promise, would like, try, permit, and allow. Now, after these verbs, we use to plus a verb. All right. Please make the difference between would like and like, which are not having the same meaning. Because like you say, I like watching TV, it proves that it is a habit to you. But would like to, this is rather something temporary. Yeah? This is rather something temporary. Also remember that permit and allow have got the same meaning. After them there is to plus a verb. All right. Now the last category is must. Models which are followed with a verb without to. You say I can understand, I can read, I can play. So after these expressions, automatically after must, can, could, will, would, etc., automatically there is a verb without to. And after let, we have used let. Example, he lets me play. He lets me play. Now I will just focus on he, which is a capital letter. He lets me play. Okay, let is the first verb and the play is the verb in the infinitive form. And of course, after make, you say, my father makes me clean the car, or obliges me to clean the car, because here makes means like obliges me to. Okay, I cannot write it here because I will really maybe annoy you a little bit. So I say obliges me, it's here better, obliges me to, makes me, or obliges me to clean the car. Okay, obliges me to clean the car. So what I would like to say is that after let, the verb is in the infinitive. After make, the verb is in the infinitive. After used to, which is different from get used to, because get used to deals with a habit in the present, and used to deals with a habit in the past. So I would say that used to is followed with a verb in the infinitive, and it expresses a habit in the past. All right, we go. Hi everybody. Hi, are you following?
Hi, yes.
Hey. Okay, so I proceed. So look, please. Now we are going to use this. By the way, I forgot something. Now, in rule number 1, there are 3. In rule number 2, there are 2. But the ing is both in number 1 and in number 2. So let's say all in all, they are 4, either ing or past participle, or 2 plus a verb, or a verb without 2. Now let's have a look at this exercise. Use the correct form of the verbs. Now here, our focus is not on tenses. Our focus is mainly on form. When I say mainly on form, it means the 4, ing or 2 plus a verb, or a verb without 2, or ed, past participle. Now, look at the paragraph. Here, this is a girl writing a letter to her friend, telling him that she can never forget him. Remember that this letter was written in the 1970s, where I mean there was no mobile phone, and where and when I mean we used to have I mean a telephone with a very I mean long wire cord, and we just take it from room to room. I still remember الوسادة الخالية to Hussein Abdul Qudus, and I mean the children were busy taking the telephone from room to room in order to call their friends. So, dear Tony, hi.
سماح تسمع فيها؟
Yes.
ايوه.
Yes.
دونك يعطيك الصحة على الفورماسيون. قداش مازال لنا تو من اكتيفيتي ان شاء الله؟
قداش مازال لنا من اكتيفيتي؟ بون انا نزيد معهم ابري I will add about 10 minutes, right?
اوكي خاطر سمية عندها بروبليم دو كونيكسيون دونك ما نتنجمش تكونكت.
All right. So I will just I will finish at 4:45. So Mr. Nabil, I will as usual I will send this activity to the students, and they are going to embark on this activity at home, so that we correct it next time. It is this one and this one. So these are two activities I would like that the students embark on, and this is important for them, so that they practice what we have seen. Now, right away, I will focus on these four sentences. I will focus on these four sentences. Now, last time I told you that after verbs of action, we use either a noun or an adverb or two. Now, these are the examples. She works daily. Or she works at home. At home is also a noun. Or she works to earn money. To plus a verb in the infinitive. Now, today I would like to focus on these two verbs, which are feel. You can use the verb here either in the present or in the past. It will never make any difference. We are going to use seem or seemed, and of course, whether the verb is in the simple present or in the simple past will not make a difference. Now, after feel and after seem, automatically you must use an adjective. This is a must. So please be careful. After feel and after seem, automatically there is an adjective. And this is what the thing that I wanted to add, because last time I talked a lot about these kinds of verbs, that they are followed with a verb in the infinitive, or with a noun or an adverb. Today I add this, that after feel and seem, automatically there is an adjective. Whether the verb is in the present or in the past, it will not make a difference. Now, the last activity I would like to focus on today in about 5 minutes, okay, because we are running short of time. We still have 6 minutes, so I'm going to explain the things in 5 minutes and tell you what to do next session. Here you must have what we call patterns, because if you talk about the most common adjective forms, you should not learn one. You should learn a set of adjectives that end in the same, in the same ending, or have the same ending. the same suffix. For example, dangerous, or famous, or hazardous, or courageous, adventurous. All of these are adjectives that end in OUS. So when you are going to revise, keep this table in mind. I will also share it with Sumaya, because it's not a question of learning one adjective that ends in OUS so you are really good at it. No. Remember that you have a list: dangerous, famous, hazardous, frivolous, adventurous, marvelous, etc. Noun plus al become the noun plus al becomes an adjective: optional, or natural, or functional, or rational, or etc. Verb plus ive becomes an adjective. You say an inventive person, inventive, creative, preventive, or protective, etc. The nouns that end in sm turn into tic, like optimism, optimistic, or enthusiasm, enthusiastic, or realistic, realistic, phantasm, fantastic, etc. Then you have the noun O, and the adjective is awesome. This is really something very delicate. Awesome means very nice. We have just the troublesome. Troublesome. You see a troublesome person. This is a person who is really happy to get involved into trouble for a reason, or most of the cases for no reason. Troublesome person. Troublesome person. Awesome. Now these are the two adjectives that are frequently used. Then there are nouns plus ly. They turn to be adjectives, like friendly, or lovely, or likely, or costly. These are adjectives, yes, and they are derived from nouns. The last but one, or last but two, yes, adjectives ending in rat. Now here, like desperate, like illiterate. Remember that? Desperate, illiterate. We have also literate, literate. All right. Then verbs that end in ed, threatened, or invented, or polluted, or produced, etc. Last one, these are the nouns plus less: homeless, or parentless, or moneyless. So I think that it is enough for today. I will really meet you next week, the same time, the same with the same nice people. Mr. Nabil and Mrs. Sumaya, my daughter Sumaya, and we wish you good luck. Inshallah, Ya Rabbi, that you pass your exams and that you achieve your dreams. I'm going to send Sumaya this document that she is going to share with you, and I'm going also to ask you to do these two exercises. So please have a look at the two exercises I'm willing you to finish up with. Number one, you are going to use the correct form with these verbs. You can take now a picture if you like using your smartphone. Although we are going to send you the documents for those who are willing to. So this is number one. Number two, you are going to focus on this activity, and also you are going to use the correct form of the verbs in brackets. So these two exercises are enough to cover the use of verb form. As I always insist on, life is based on quality. It is never based on quantity. So be selective. Just use these two I mean exercises to understand what the verb form is about. Sinabil,
ايوه
Sinabil,
يعطيك الصحه يعطيك الصحه
by the end, I thank you, inshallah.
ان شاء الله
We see you, inshallah, next week.
next week ان شاء الله
All
next
right,
week.
all right, all right.
جوست ان رابيل دونك بالنسبه للتلامذه اللي يحبوا ياخذوا الاكزرسيس اللي من عند اللي مش تعطيه لهم انت دونك الكونتاكت الباج اسياك ويبعثوا لنا ميساج دونك على الباج ويزيدوا يقيدوا على اللين دانسكريبسيون اللي على الباج دونك لي زيليف ولا التلامذه اللي يحبوا ياخذوا لي زيكزرسيس يبعثوا لنا ميساج ويقيدوا في اللين دانسكريبسيون اللي يلقاوها على الباج.
Ok, avec plaisir. Avec plaisir, j'ai demandé aux élèves de faire les deux exercices. Bon courage pour tout le monde. Shaya Taiba pour tout le monde. Je suis ravi de communiquer avec eux. Thank you. So, good night. Good night.
عايشك شهية طيبة سلامة.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.